because I had to leave my mom earlier than expected, that was like another separation issue because like, why would I want to leave my mom? It's not about being dependent or independent. It's about balance. Don't want to put the blame on yourself for something that you can't satisfy other people because you're satisfying your own life. Balancing those attachment issues with, hey, like I still consider all my friends as family, but I understand that I can't rely on them for everything. At the end of the day, somebody will dislike you. Whether you like it or not, somebody will. If you have problems in your life and it's affecting you, go at it face to face.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Highest Version Podcast. I'm your host, Rennie Philbong, and on this podcast, we talk about falling in love with the process of getting better every day and becoming the highest version of ourselves. Today's guest is Igor Silva, a longtime UMass homie, and if you probably heard a dog bark outside, it probably wasn't a dog, it was probably him because of how likeliness he can bark like a dog. He helped Igor is a longtime friend, and we actually were roommates after college who helped me understand how to let loose and how to live life and not take things so seriously. He's an aspiring content creator from totally transforming his body and doing a day in a life. From a dancer to a raver to a couch potato, he does it all. So without further ado, what you guys all been waiting for, let's welcome our guest, Igor Silva.
Hello, that's me.
Bro, I couldn't even get out without laughing. Oh, man. What's up, bro?
How's it going?
Dude, this is something that people have. This is like what the people want, and I'm giving them what they want.
You gotta give people what they want. Let's go.
Honestly, I'm so surprised you agreed to it because I'm like, what is he going to talk about?
Took like 2 years.
That is true. So, bro, I mean, before we get into questions, you know, obviously really excited to get into the things that you told me offline and get to, I don't know, we have a lot of one-on-one talks a lot. Usually it involves drinking, which we're having a little bit of wine, something a little bit more classy versus taking shots. Yeah. But the feature Funko Pop of the episode that I wanted to introduce everyone to is Mickey Mouse. And the thing that's special about this is that it's actually made out of metal versus all the other Funko Pops that are made up of the normal material. And the reason why I picked Mickey Mouse is because when we think about Mickey Mouse, obviously it's the face of Disney, but Mickey has multiple personalities. So it could be from happy or fun or sad. At the end of the day, Mickey is highly animated. And for as long as I've known you, that's the only thing I can describe you as is animated besides when you're on the couch. That's and either way, Mickey at the end of the day always wants to have a good time and show everyone a good time. So yeah, man, I just want to get your thoughts on me comparing you to the great Mickey Mouse.
Well, if you know, I'm a huge Hannah Montana fan.
Oh, true.
So that adds up. And yeah, it's cute.
I should have got Hannah Montana. I don't know why I didn't think about that.
There's a Hannah Montana one?
Yeah, there is a Hannah Montana one. I dropped the ball on this one. My first L.
It's okay. It's okay.
So, bro, how's your mental health nowadays?
Ooh, I think it's fine. I'll start off with I think. In that sense, I've done a lot of good progress in terms of keeping in touch with myself and making sure that I'm okay. I think by that is just a lot of like controlling any external factors that play into my life. I think right now is a good time. If you asked me like 3 months ago, it wasn't so great. Just dealing with like moving out, trying to figure out what to do in my life and whatnot. But now that I have that settled, I can relax for at least like the next 10 months.
Yeah.
Hopefully I renew a lease and I don't have to move out again for the 7th time in 7 years.
Oh, wait, how many? Was it actually 7? Did you count like how many times you moved in the past few years?
If you think about it, if you include college, that's a different story. But like college, COVID happened. Then I moved to Puffer's Pond. What is it called?
Oh, is it not Puffton? No. Is it Puffton? No.
Yeah, it's Puffton.
Oh, Puffton, yeah.
Moved to Puffton. After Puffton, we moved to Boulders. After Boulders, I kind of moved back home. And then for like 2 months, and then I moved out with you. And then we moved out next door, Boone. And then after that, I moved out with Timmy. And then after that, I moved out with Timmy and Darren, and then now we're here. So there's a lot of moving around. I'm tired.
But I'm glad that your mental health is a whole lot better, because I know when I talked to you 3 months ago, you're like, I can't go to the gym. I can't post any gym content, even if I wanted to. You're like, I have to focus on this. How have you dealt with that all your life? Because I feel like your life kind of focuses on that one thing, and then everything else kind of lacks it. I wouldn't say die.
Yeah. For me, I think the biggest issue for me is I can only focus on one thing at a time. So, and to explain this is like the whole gymming situation. When I moved to my new apartment with Timmy and Darren, that was set, right? And it's like I had no worries. I had nothing to worry about. So I was on a gym grind from like October to essentially like March. And I was like, I honestly felt like I was doing pretty well. But once I was starting to like not realize because I already knew, but like once Timmy and Darren already had plans on like moving out and like doing their own thing, I was like, okay, I need to do the same thing, which is completely fine. You know what I mean? That's not what's worrying me, but it was more like finding the spot and like securing it and making sure that I'm not living with like people that will haunt me. Because you see enough stories where like people just have like really shitty roommates for like randos and stuff like that. It's like, that's the last thing I want. It's like, I don't care if they're like going to be my best friends or not. I just want to make sure that we can cohabitate in a good like scenario. And, you know, if we become good friends, that's good. But for me, a lot of people, they're like, oh, if I'm stressed out, I go to the gym. That's not my case. Like, if I'm stressed out, I'm at the gym.
Yeah.
I cannot think. Like, I remember being at the gym and 20 minutes into my workout, I open Zillow and like apartments.com and I'm like, is there any apartments? Or I'm on Facebook, and like trying to find a roommate. Like, that's all I did. So like, I couldn't work out. It was like really bad. So it's like, it got to a point where I was just like, okay, when I get home from work, I'm just going to go to my laptop and like see like, okay, what am I dealing with today?
Yeah.
And especially like Facebook, when you're trying to find roommates, it's like, you'll message a lot of people, they'll message you back, and it's like nothing against them. And it's like, sometimes they'll play the game where like they'll follow up with you and then you'll meet them and stuff like that, but they'll go with someone else. And there's nothing like personal about that. It's just like at the end of the day, they're going to pick someone they think is most suitable for the situation. But because I played that game for a bit, also I was like trying to live with different people too. There was like this one guy I was trying to live with. It didn't work out. I was trying to move in with a bunch of girls. Truk. That didn't work out. You know, these girls, they wanted their own bathroom, which is fine, but it brought all of our like budgets out of like range, and it wasn't realistic, and at the time it was cutting short. And just finding random people to live with, I just didn't want to put myself in a situation that was going to cause more mental stress for the next 12 months.
Yeah.
So I think I'm a good spot right now. I like my roommates. They're chill. Yeah.
That's what we call good boundaries, people. Good example of good boundaries. All right, man. Let's get into your lore or story.
Yes, sir.
Offline, you told me that you were part of a junior Olympic team, which I'm really surprised about. Look,
Yeah.
I know you're athletic, and you told me about a lot about volleyball stories. But
Yeah.
the sports you mentioned, I was really surprised. So
Yeah.
can you talk about like, being on that team and what that was like? Because not a lot of people can say they were part of a junior Olympic team.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say it's like too like it's not too exclusive as it sounds, but ever since I was a kid, I did do swimming and that. So I'll start off with this. When I was a kid, I started off with soccer. I never really liked soccer, and it's like I played it, but I feel like that was something that was mostly pushed onto me as a kid. Every Brazilian kid, you probably play soccer. So it's like, that's the first thing your parents put you on. I didn't really like it. And then later on, my mom put me into swimming and diving. Actually, she put me in swimming first. And then I did that. And it was fine. And then I wanted to try diving. And then I tried that. When it comes to swimming, I was actually decently good at it for my age. I was like maybe like 10 years old at the time. And this is like at a national public team type of thing. So it's like you can start off at all levels. Okay. But then over time, the coach will sort of be like, hey, you're good. Move up. Over time, I got good enough to be within the Junior Olympics team of my state. It's
Mhm.
not really a state because I lived in a capital. So think of like Washington, D.C. So like
Mhm.
within Washington, D.C. in Brazil,
Got it.
I was in that team. And then as I was doing diving as well, I also started to get a lot better. So it's like I was in that Junior Olympics team as well for diving. The problem with diving was that when my coach wanted me to jump off 10 meters, that's when I quit. Because I'm kind
Yeah.
of scared of heights.
That's super. That's actually really
So it's
scary.
like
Yeah.
if you had me at the base level or like 2.5, I mean, yeah, was it 2.5? Yeah, 2.5, 5 meters, maybe 7.5. I was able to like do the tricks. I don't know.
Mhm.
I can't do them anymore. I was like 10 years old. I stopped doing all this stuff when I was like 12. So I was pretty good, and swimming I was good too. Funny story though, when um a lot of the times when you're trying to compete for like a tournament, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, when you're trying to place for a tournament, you know, like you go against your own teammates and they calculate the time.
Mhm.
So when I was doing one of those for swimming, right when it jumped in, I my speedos came off. So that was one of those. So like my speedo came off, so I pulled it back in. I kept like swimming.
Yeah.
That set me back a little bit. I think I ended up in like 4th out of 8th place or 10th. I forgot how many lanes there was.
Yeah.
I mean, no big deal. I didn't care, but a few people noticed it. Not everyone,
Yeah.
but that did happen. So it was a fun fact.
It'd be, imagine they had those. You know how for the Olympics they have those cameras at the,
cameras,
bottom for the
yeah.
pool.
Yeah,
Imagine it was like
I'm pretty sure there was no cameras. It was really just calculating the times and seeing who qualifies. But yeah, I didn't qualify that one time. I qualified another time, but I ended up not participating. And then I feel like not even a year later, that's when I moved to the US.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you were to stay in Brazil, do you think you would have aspired or pursued that kind of Olympic spirit? Or I know you said like it wasn't as like gatekeeping or like, you know, exclusive, but
Mhm.
like, do you think you would have tried for that
Mhm.
dream at least?
I think if I kept up the momentum, definitely. There was definitely some setbacks for all the time, as in, you know, just things happening within my family, and then from that moving to the US. And you know, like when I came to the US, I was in middle school. You don't have a swimming team like in middle school. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
have a swimming team in high school.
Mhm.
But once I got to high school, I kind of just didn't have any interest in swimming and diving freshman year. I started to get some interest like junior year, but then like seeing how like everyone was playing out, I kind of, in a way, I was kind of disencouraged to like join in, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Just because like I stopped practicing at like 12 years old, and by like 16, that's like 4 years of like not doing anything. And like at that point, I had already picked up volleyball.
Right.
So it's just like, And I didn't, even though I like to do sports in high school, I did not want to be a 3-season athlete.
Mm.
So yeah, no.
Yeah, you were dropping that at that
Yeah.
point.
What I do in high school, I did soccer in the fall. Winter, I didn't do anything the first year, but second year I did track. And then in the spring I did volleyball. But even like later on, I dropped track because I was like, I don't even like running.
Who does? Who
yeah.
does?
And then, I mean, some people do.
Yeah.
But then
yeah.
I also dropped soccer because it was more like, I was just doing just for the funsies. I didn't want it to get too serious. It started to get too serious at one point. And I was like, not for me. Volleyball was good until it got too serious and I couldn't play anymore. So
You had a injury, right? That's why you couldn't play volleyball anymore?
yeah, I don't know what happened, but I essentially fractured my thumb. And then once I fractured my thumb, I was out all season. And unlike the other people that I play volleyball with, they always played off season and I didn't. So over time, is like I feel like as a freshman, I was a really good player, and everyone else was like starting to gain like experience with it. But then because they played off season, they started to like get better. Meanwhile, like I kind of stayed stagnant. I was growing a little bit, but then I fractured my thumb and I was off all season. And by the time I got back to the team, like the next season, it was like everyone was a lot better and I wasn't. And because I didn't practice over time, I played as a setter. So then I just couldn't set anymore. I don't know what happened. I was pretty decent. And then it just went all downhill.
Yeah.
And then I quit my senior year. Mid-senior year, I walked out of my classroom. I asked for a pass to get in to leave the room.
Yeah.
I took my uniform. I handed it to my coach and I was like, I'm done. Bye. Because I was essentially a bench varsity all a sophomore, junior, and senior year. Most people are bench varsity their sophomore year. Junior year is like half and half, but senior year you're usually on the court. But no, there was people better than me. PD was better. You know PD.
Yeah.
Yeah. PD, he was a setter. He was better than me at that point. Randy, who was in my grade, he was also better than me. But I feel like when we started playing volleyball, we were all the same level. But over time, they got better than me. And then, yeah, it is what it is. I don't blame them.
Mm-hmm.
But I was tired of going to practices and not playing. So I was like,
That's fair.
it's fine. I'll do something else.
So that factor in your movement to dance then? Because I know, dance we were on the same college dance team together. So
Kind of.
Okay.
So at Lowell High, they offer dance classes.
Okay.
But that's more like contemporary and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But you either take dance or you take gym classes. And then I was like,
Yes, gym class.
I was like, so I'm gonna take dance. I want to say like there was always like a couple of guys in the dance class, but it was always like one per class, and I was like one of those. I can't remember. I might be making this up, but I think I might have had a class with William.
Your friend William Chan.
Yeah. We might have not been in the same class, but we might at the same time. But anyways, I switched to dance classes, and it was like more fun and whatnot. I was just like learning basics of when it comes to like contemporary and stuff like that. But yeah, that was around like junior year. I don't know if I did it sophomore year. I definitely did it junior and senior year. And then by then I just picked up a couple of things, and then like every semester we had like a show that we were like doing and stuff like that. And honestly, those started to get pretty crowded. Like I remember from what I know, they weren't that popular back then. But like they would easily sell out. Like when I started doing it, like the whole lower auditorium would like get filled up.
Wow.
And like there'll be like at least like 1,000 people.
That's a big auditorium. What the hell?
I mean, it's low high.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
Our school is like 4,000 kids.
That's like literally like I think half, like that's double what my graduating class was.
Yeah. So my graduating class is like 800, 900. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I started doing that, and then not only did I take the classes, I also joined the dance team, which I think I definitely joined senior year. I don't know about junior year. And then William was on that as well. And then I did that. And then when I went to college, I was like, I want to dance. So that's when I started dancing. Here and there, I would go to volleyball open courts like at the gym, but not so frequently.
Yeah.
Mostly because I was still very self-conscious about like how I play volleyball.
Right.
But then I realized like not everyone is that good over there. It's like it's very casual. I always feared playing with really good people because I'm like, oh damn, they're actually really good. But then I started playing with people that are just casual. It's like, okay, it's not
nice,
that bad.
Nice and fun. Yeah. Also, just correcting myself. I remember I said 4,000. Yeah, that was like my graduating class was like 200. I don't know why I thought it was 2,000. I was like, wait a minute.
You're probably your whole school is 2,000.
Yeah.
My high school is really big.
Dude, I think I remember a side story is that when I first met you, I didn't even meet you. Like when I first saw you, when I was we were auditioning for the same crew. The moment I walked in, you were going ham, like moving your shit. And I was like, I'm not making this team.
Yeah, I honestly, I wish I still had that clip. Like, when we do solos for auditions?
Yeah.
I wish someone still had those clips.
Nalene has the clips.
Does she?
Yeah, she does.
Because like I think I've hunted them. I think I might have asked her already for those and I couldn't find it. And like, I just have a memory of like watching the clips, right? And I was like, wow, I wasn't even that good. But the song that I choreographed to for my solo, I wish I could find the choreo that I made for the workshop and essentially recreate that choreo, but with more knowledge than I have now. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Is I take what I started with and improve it to like the knowledge that I have now as like a dancer. And it's like, honestly, I think it would have been a chef's kiss piece, but I just can't. The only move that I remember is me putting my fingers up. That's it.
Well, bro, your vision and creativity with dance is just like, how to put formation together. I think when me and Michelle, like we look back at our old performances, like your pieces always had great formations. Yeah. And like you also pay attention to detail. Side fact, I would always be the last one to sit down when Igor's doing cleaning because he's such paying attention to detail. Yeah. Where did that come from? Did that come from your learning stuff as an athlete, or is that just how you are your entire life?
No. So before I start, usually I don't like to call myself a dancer because like I feel like as a dancer I'm a very casual person,
Okay.
but I like to choreograph. Is like even when I make up a choreo, I always tell people is like I don't know how to do this, but I know you can. Like I see
Mm.
you being able to do that. You know what I mean? But to your question, I think it's more like I don't think it has anything to do with athleticism. I think it has to do with K-pop. I think just like watching so many performances and like how they play out is like is like as a visual like learner is like I see what matters and what doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's like
Mm.
if you're having a dance performance and people are adding their own swag, that's fine, right? But then it's like when you start distracting the audience from the whole concept that's being played out in front of you, that's when I pull the trigger. I'm like, you either need to improve the moves or you need to tone down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's where mostly it comes from. I think I always try to see it from an audience perspective. And it's from an audience perspective, it's like, if I'm enjoying it, cool. If I'm not enjoying it, it's like, what do we need to work on? Is it the details? Is it just giving more energy? Like, that's where my vision is like, when I do choreograph, that's where it comes from.
Yeah. And I mean, you probably remember a lot of these moments, but
Mhm.
I remember, at least from my perspective, I'm like, yo, Igor's getting really mad. I really need to fight this. Did you um, ever like look back at, I don't know if you're being angry, but like, have you ever like lost it too much at one point, at one time?
So I don't remember this, but I definitely made Leah cry once.
Oh, and you know how sensitive she is to the
Yeah.
call.
So if you don't know, Leanne and I were co-captains for a dance crew in college. Apparently I made Leanne cry once because I was a little too harsh. Um, I think with me is like I definitely feel sorry for doing that. But I think anyone will know I'm a very objective person.
Yeah,
And
you
it's
are.
like um when I'm very objective is like I will tell you straight up and I don't really sugarcoat it. Is like if you're doing something wrong, and this is not even everything has to do with dance that I'm saying right now, but if you're doing something wrong or like your morals are wrong or if like you're not being like logical, is like I will tell you straight up is like you're fucked up, like or you fucked up, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
um there's definitely sometimes I feel like I was a little bit more on the strict side. I do think sometimes I could have been a little bit better with how I present it.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. You podcast to him now. Do you ever feel like I was like too harsh sometimes? Because I was me and Leanne were co-captains, and at the
Yeah.
time
I
you
was
were
just
just a historian, right? You were a
historian or
historian.
treasure or whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But
something like
like, did you ever feel like as a team captain it was a little too harsh?
that. I think to other people, yeah.
Yes.
I remember you had one practice. I don't know if it was for buttons, one of your choreos, or
Yeah.
another one, but I remember like the vibe of the whole when everyone came together for practice was like different. I was like, why is like everyone? And so I asked someone, and someone was like, yeah, Igor is like really harsh like yesterday, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, if you don't know, I made a choreo for buttons and I don't know what happened, but I just didn't like it. And I think some of the people in that choreo also gave me feedback to the
Okay.
point that they were like, I think you can improve on this. So I hosted like maybe 2 practice outside of practice times. And I was like, we're changing the whole choreo. Yeah.
How many days
Because
was that before?
no, because if you ever find clips of the original like teaching practice with the final like product or
Mhm.
final outcome,
Mhm.
it's very different. I
Mhm.
changed a lot. Like none of it pretty much maybe the chorus stayed the same, but everything else changed.
Okay.
But I think the people that were in that choreo were kind of thankful because they did enjoy it a lot more. Um, but I think that's when we kind of started to have practices off practice hours. It kind of created a habit. I did it once, but I think it created a habit. But yeah, it was good. I think.
Well, our performances were always killer, so
Yeah.
it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
We had to go through it, which is
Also, to the new people on 530 right now, you guys are doing great. If you're ever watching this.
yes, you guys are.
Yeah.
All right, man. So let's transition a little bit. Obviously, we talked a lot about your dancing, but
Mhm.
also like your, just mindset. mindset slash like experience as being an athlete.
Mhm.
I want to go back to the transition from the time from Brazil to the States.
Mhm.
So offline, you talked to me about a lot of like attachment issues,
Mhm.
which I was actually surprised to hear about because I don't think that's something you've ever expressed to me in all our years of friendship. And you had to deal with being alone a lot. You had to deal with a lot of lack of support at a very young age.
Mhm.
So can you just give us like a cliff note short version of like, what led to those experiences led to those events to have like separation attachment issues?
Yeah. So growing up, I didn't have a father figure. Long story short, abusive parent, abusive father. Wasn't really there as a father. One thing that I always wish I had was kind of like a father figure, and it's not even just like for the father figure itself, but it's like I don't know how to do anything in my car. Like I don't know how to do like any like household stuff. So it's like I got a flat tire like with Emily like a year ago, and I was like, I do not know how to change a flat tire. But yeah, so it's like small things like that.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a father figure. He like left really early on, not that much earlier on, but I was like maybe like 8. So I really only had my mother like throughout my whole life. But the thing with my mom, I appreciate her a lot, but when I was young, she first thing she had me when she was 15.
Okay.
Right, so that was at a young age, and when we moved to Brazil, she decided to go back to school. I think she went to school for accounting, actually.
Oh, really?
I might be wrong,
Hmm.
but she doesn't do anything accounting related now.
Okay.
So she went to school, back to school. What that meant is that during the day she would work, and during at night she would go to university. So when I would get home from school, sometimes I would have lunch with her. That's if she came home, I think. Honestly, also some of this might be a little bit distorted from the reality, but I'm just saying what I'm remembering. But I would get home from school, she would cook me some lunch, and then she would leave soon after. But there would be also some times where like I would come back home from school and she would just leave me some money, and I would have to like get food at a plaza nearby. And there was also a mall nearby, so I'd get food there. So that's where like sort of my independence came from at first, because a lot of the times my mom wasn't physically there because during the day she would be at work, and then at nighttime she would be at school.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I would go to bed and I haven't seen my mom yet and stuff like that. So that's where like sort of my independence came from. In terms of attachment issues, I think it mostly has to do with the friendships and things that came after that. So I think with my mom, it has more to do with separation issues, because I didn't really grow up with a parent that was there all the time. And separation really came from the moment that me and my mom kind of came to understanding and agreement that, hey, maybe it's best if you move to the US and stay with your grandma. This has a lot to do with where she found herself with a job. She essentially got laid off from her job. It was a really good job. It was like actually under the government, but as if you know anything about politics, Brazil is very corrupt. So she got laid off, and she essentially didn't have a way to really raise me. So the best way was to essentially send me off to the US to live with my grandma, and that kind of aligned with what I had in mind, because I did want to go to high school and college in the US.
Okay.
At the very least, college. But it made sense for me to come here for high school so I can learn English and everything like that. But I came a little bit earlier than expected. And of course, I didn't come with her. That's another lore that I can explain later. So then, because I had to leave my mom earlier than expected, that was like another separation issue, because like, why would I want to leave my mom? You know what I mean? It's like, why would I want to live the rest of my life without seeing my mom every day? Because she was the only person that really mattered to me back then. But then I moved to the US, and I think attachment issues mostly come from the fact that the lifestyle that I lived in Brazil compared to the lifestyle that I lived in the US were completely opposites. My mom, even though she wasn't there present all the time, I think she held a lot of trust with me.
Okay.
It's sort of, I was always friends with like my neighbors and like my friends and stuff like that. If I wanted to do something, she knew I was safe. She knew who I was with, and that was cool. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like You're good. When I came to the US, there was a lot of like differences between how my mom raised me and my grandma raised me.
Right.
Um, I don't remember what happened per se, but I remember one time I was like, I stayed after school and I was just like hanging out with my friends. Like, I didn't play basketball, but they did. I suck at basketball. But, I just wanted to be around and hang out.
Right.
And I remember my grandma like calling me. He was like, where are you? And I was like, I'm at the school still. I'm like hanging out with my friends after school. And she was like, no, come home. You have to come home right after school. And I was like really confused at the time. I was like, why?
What?
And then I got home and I got like lectured for it and stuff like that. And I think that's where I built like a negative relationship with my grandparents, because I was like, why can I do simple things as a kid? You know what I mean? So that's where I started to like not be able to really hang out with my friends or have like free time after school and stuff like that. I felt like I always had to come back after school and just be home. And that's when like little white lines started to like flourish in my life, where
Yeah.
I kind of just had to make up a lies like, oh, I'm staying after school for X, Y, and Z, when in reality I literally just wanted to grab food with my friends after school and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So separation anxiety mostly comes from my mom, and then coming to the US. Attachment issues, it comes from not being able to have the quality time with my family, but having to have the quality time with friends. So from very early on being in US, I found the family aspect that I didn't have with my mom anymore through my friends.
Yeah.
And that started off as early as middle school and went to high school, and then I went to college. And I do value a lot of my friends a lot. I've tried to like step back a little bit nowadays, as in like not to be too attached with my friends, because at the end of the day, we're at a stage where like everyone grows and kind of does their own thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't want to be attached to a friend and then
they have some new life event
Yeah,
change,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
like
yeah.
you're left behind.
yeah. But that's where my attachment issues mostly come from, because I've always relied on my friends to be sort of my second family.
Yeah. Have you had any like negative feelings or resentment towards your mom in terms of why she didn't come to the US with you, or was it more like you understood like why that had to happen?
Oh hell no, I understood it.
Yeah.
It makes complete sense. It's like, if you know my mom's story, some of my friends do, but like the reason why, so I was born in the US and I moved to Brazil and then I came back. And if you know any of my story, it's like she got deported. I was 4 years old. I went to Brazil with her, and then I came back by myself. And it's like, no, I completely understand it. It's like, it's something that's out of her control. And at the end of the day, she was looking out for me, if that makes sense. And even my mom nowadays, she like worried. I don't know about it anymore, but I think at some point she thought I was jealous of my little sister, because I do have a little sister.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And it's like, she's raising her really well. She's giving her everything. She's like babying her, like stuff like that. Like she's getting sort of the life that I never had the chance to have with my mom.
Yeah.
But like being objective again, it's like my mom has a chance to give my little sister the opportunity now. She didn't have that chance to give it to me.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not fair for me to be jealous or anything like that, because I know everything that my mom did throughout her life was out of love to what she was able to do.
Right.
Yeah.
And then going to that relationship with your grandmother, obviously there's the shift of change of lifestyle. When we're under a strict household, a lot of kids who have immigrant parents like go through that. Do you have the common feeling also of like, well, if you're gonna be more strict with me, then I'm gonna be rebel a lot more? I know I started the white lies, but like, any negative feelings towards your grandma, like, growing up like that?
So I don't think in any way I felt more rebel. I think a lot of the times I just felt more like sort of like, not anger, but something along those lines.
Yeah.
It was just more like I couldn't understand it. I couldn't grasp the concept of it. So it's like a lot of the times when she got like mad at me or like upset at me, I genuinely couldn't grasp the concept, because I'm like, this is so out of touch with like the assumptions that would be made sometimes about like what I'm doing on my own time were like so out of touch. And even when I started to understand it, is like almost felt like I wanted to turn to someone and be like, please read the room, because like this is absurd.
Yeah.
Ranging from like being in a gang or like stuff like that. I'm just like,
I'm literally just grabbing boba. Like,
yeah, I'm going down the street to grab froyo.
Yeah.
And I can't lie. Like some of the people that have been in my life through middle school and high school, it's like, were some of them the best influences? Not really, but I've never, if you know me, if I've never played into that role. It's
Yeah.
like first time I touched alcohol, I was in high school, I was in college. So I think there's a huge lack of like trust between your kid and who I'm actually am. And that really offset me to like just at the end of the day not have a really good relationship with my grandparents.
And even leading to your friends more.
Yeah, because like whenever, and that's true to this day, it's like whenever I have a problem, I don't ask my family.
Yeah.
If I have a problem like mentally, emotionally, financially, if we know about that part, like I don't go to my family because it's just like it like if I ever needed help from my family, they would and this is not family in general, please understand where I'm coming from, but they would find a way to blame it on like something completely unrelated. And it's just almost like, wow, let's act like I didn't move out of the house when I was in college and I was essentially on my own this whole time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I can't lie, like my family has helped me for a couple of things. But when I personally needed them the most, they were not the first ones I reached out to. And I don't think a lot of them would be. I think out of all the family that I have in US, I'll probably feel more comfortable reaching out to my aunts than my grandma. But even extended family, I never really met any of them. Like
Yeah.
I have, but I don't have any relationships with them.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think, I mean, I'm pretty sure you probably try to look into the perspective of what your grandma, I guess, saw, you know, how she grew up and like, oh, well, now you're my responsibility. And like, there's a lot of pressure to that. So she doesn't want you to go astray. Like,
well, so that's the other thing. My mom and my grandma clashed with that. So sort of like if my grandma, for example, didn't approve or something, and my grandma talked to my mom about it, or I talked to my mom about it, we essentially wouldn't agree with my grandma.
Okay.
So there was that. It's like if there was something that was bothering me and I told my mom, she'd be like, what's the problem with that? You know what I mean? It's like, why is she? And I'm using these examples very loosely because I don't remember everything, but let's just have the example of hanging out with my friends, an example, right? It's like my mom would be like, what's the problem if you want to hang out with your friends? And I'd be like, I don't know. But then my grandma, I don't know, would have a problem with it and like make a big deal out of it. But yeah, essentially that happened for a long time. And you know, it got better when I moved to college because I wasn't home.
Distance. Yeah.
Yes. I wanted to move very, very far away from college because of that. But I settled with UMass Amherst. Why? I thought I was going to get homesick. I never did. But UMass Amherst to here is like, if you get homesick, it's only an hour and a half drive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you don't get homesick, you just stay at school. You know what I mean? It's like the parents are like, come home. We're like, oh, it's such a far drive. So tiring.
Yeah.
But if you really wanted to, you could.
Yeah.
So UMass Amherst was like the happy middle ground. I'm glad I went there, but no, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think coming also from a strict household too, like it's them like wanting, like having a curfew when like I'm doing nothing wrong. Like I said, I'm going hanging out with friends. I touched alcohol, but I think that was like more like what I saw growing up, you know, in Southeast Asian culture, like that's all you see. Yeah. And even like my cousins that were not of age, like they would still be doing it, like sneaking. So it's like, okay, like what's the problem? But
yeah,
I think it's very fair and it's such a wild like transition too. But you've always been so independent, and it's like
it literally starts off from like the lifestyle that I had in Brazil due to my mom's lifestyle. So essentially coming here and like not being able to grow like a connection with my family.
Yeah.
So that's when I started to become more independent. And then only dependency was really like, if I needed something, I would have to reach out to my friends who always been a great support in my life. Thank you, Randy. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Timmy. Who else?
You have a lot of people to thank. At this point, just say thank you to everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, Igor, we just talked about your transition to the US and how that has created some separation anxiety and attachment issues. And to the point where there were some points in your life where your friends became your family.
Mm-hmm.
I can really resonate with that because I had my own turmoil with
Mm-hmm.
my immediate family, that caused me to be like, I don't want to be home. I don't want to even interact with anyone. Like, I'd rather just hang out with my friends a lot. And then I would get
Mm-hmm.
curfew, all that stuff. But I'm really interested in that because I haven't talked to anyone that had the same, not same, but same feeling about how friends are family now.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you dealing with those attachment issues and separation anxiety with friends now? How about with friends now, and then kind of pull in like how that kind of developed, because
Mm-hmm.
you had to go through a lot of experiences with friends to get
Yeah.
to the point.
So, to my understanding, is like friends come and go, and that's just the truth of it. If you guys stay as friends, that's cool. But at the end of the day, I try to remember that over time, like friends will essentially do what they have to do, and either that can mean like move somewhere else or get engaged and married and like settle down and stuff like that. So like in that sense, it's not essentially they're out of the picture, but like slowly and surely they're sort of out of the picture. If that makes sense. And there's no problem with that. That's like just how life goes. But I think for me, it's just again going back to the independency that I have, and I've been trying to work on that mostly like the past year or so, and that's by finding things that I enjoy, like just doing in my own time. I spent a lot of the past couple of years um hanging out with friends and always going out with friends and doing activity with friends, but it's almost like how about doing those things by yourself? And it's like
Mm,
finding joy in them. If you know me, I personally don't mind and I'm okay with like going out to eat by myself.
yeah.
If you're ever on my IG story, every now and then, like I will post myself just grabbing like a nice dinner by myself at a restaurant, sitting down. I will have my headphones on. I'm watching something on YouTube or on my phone and just enjoying the moment.
Hmm.
Or anything from just like running errands and um maybe even gymming. It's just like things that you do by yourself and you're able to focus on yourself and have time with yourself. That's where I think a lot of that's where you're able to sort of balance those two things together. When I grew a lot of attachment issues to my friends that can kind of go down south,
Mm,
and I've seen that from firsthand from like middle school to high school to like college, and how has it affected me. But being able to sort of control that and mitigate that and find solutions for it is really just to, at the end of the day, is all about a balance,
yeah.
balancing um, those attachment issues with, hey, like I still consider all my friends as family, but I understand that I can't rely on them for everything. Because at the end of the day, they're not my parents, they're not my guardians or anything like that.
Right.
So there needs to be some sort of balance. And I find that solely from just like being able to do things on my own time and find joy in that.
Hmm. Yeah. The I'm glad you're doing a lot more things on yourself. You've always been independent, but like I think you're taking it to a new level now. Can you remember a moment where, with a friend that you're like, oh shit, like my separation anxiety or my attachment issues is like really showing and I need to like really pivot myself?
Yes.
You don't have to name the name. You can just kind of give it like an example.
Timmy.
All right. Don't give a name. Say the name.
I think mostly because like the friendship that we built, it was like pretty nice in college.
Mm-hmm.
Off college, it was essentially the same thing, but like he has always been a friend that like has helped me like not only emotionally but also like mentally. He has helped me in school. So all of those things combined is like I kind of grew like this attachment because in a sense it's like I felt like he could always help me.
Mm.
But then when it came down to a point where I was like, I can't rely on this kid for everything, that's when I started to like pivot like my mentality where I'm like, I need to kind of go back to being independent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the problem with independency is that I felt like I was independent for so much in my life that when I had the opportunity to not be independent, I wanted to kind of stick with that because it's sort of like, I don't know, it's like imagine being independent from the age of like 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point you find like a comfort zone where like you don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah.
But then it kind of like bit me up the ass because it's just like, dude, this guy is just a friend of mine. So it's like he can't be there for me 24/7. So when I came across that conclusion, that's when I was like, okay, it's not about being dependent or independent. It's about balance.
Yeah.
So it's like we need to work on that. So that's where I found myself the past like year or so. Still a lot of work to do. But it's nothing like major, nothing like what's the word I'm looking for?
Intense, severe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's nothing worrisome at this point. You know what I mean? It's like I've already gone through that part, but it's just more like little progress here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where did you kind of gain the knowledge about attachment issues? Because I feel like this is, at least when I was growing up, I didn't even know issues was a thing until like after college.
Yeah. I think for me, it started off as early as like middle school. Cause like if you look at my history, I had a best friend in middle school. I had a best friend in high school. I had a best friend in college. So it's like middle school. We have this guy named Peter. I cannot remember why we weren't friends anymore, but we were really good friends. And like right before I went to high school, it's just like things didn't work out, and it's like I made a big deal about it. And then in high school, I had another best friend, Thomas, and that worked out pretty well until we got to college. We were roommates freshman year. Some things happened there, and it's just like, I think along with attachment issues, the problem that comes with that is like change. So when you have attachment issues, but something changes, you fear that that change is going to impact your attachment issues. So then that played a good role on like why we weren't friends anymore.
Yeah.
So that was one thing. And then with Timmy, I don't think necessarily anything really, things happen along the way that like played a factor into like me realizing my attachment issues. But it wasn't anything that like really like stuck to me that was like, this is attachment issues. I think it's just over time, things that happen. And I'm like, okay, I need to draw a boundary here. And I kind of need to work on myself type of thing.
Right. Yeah. I think I'm very interested in this topic because it's just like, I'm wondering if I have some attachment issues, because the question I want to ask you from my end is that when I was growing up with high school friends, I would constantly be texting people like at 8 p.m. Right. And keep in mind, like, same like you growing up, like my friends were my family. But now that we're adults, it's just like, obviously there's a lot of stuff going on. We have less time for each other. But sometimes a thought comes into my head of like, are we still friends? Like, are we still good? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, do you think I'm going through some attachment issues, or is it more just like, yo, it's just life?
To be honest, I think that conversation comes not only in this podcast, but it comes amongst my other friends too. Where a lot of people are like, I wonder if something is going on because we don't text each other as much, but like also they feel like that's kind of just life and they don't have much time for each other. I think at the end of the day, it's all about understanding like where everyone is at and where the mentality is at and where we find ourselves in. So me and you, perfect example. Homie, right? Homie. But he knows if you want to hang out, you schedule it because you're the busy one. Like last time I asked him to hang out, I had to bail for whatever reason. I remember I actually was really hungover and I was like, I cannot do this right now.
Yeah.
And then this was like on the 20, I don't know what month it was. It was like on the 26th. It was on the 26th. And he goes, all right, let's hang out on the 27th. And I was like, oh, tomorrow? Okay, cool. He goes, nah, the 27th of next month. And I was like, remind me a week before. So, I think where we find ourselves nowadays, it's not so much it doesn't have to do so much with attachment issues, but at the end of the day, we should understand where our friends and relatives are at in their lives. And if they can't make time for us, don't take that personally. I think at the end of the day, you're able to see who are the friends that actually care about you or not. I think a perfect example, and I'll name drop because it's fine, is like one person that I do really appreciate, and I don't make enough time for this person maybe, is Emily. And I say this because I feel like she always put the step forward to essentially plan to hang out with me, right?
Yeah.
And I appreciate that and stuff like that. But I kind of don't reciprocate that. But when I do meet up with her, it's like I hope she sees us like I do still value her as a friend and stuff like that. I still value her time. But it comes down to like, planning and like making time for it. I can't remember the last time I've asked people to hang out besides for a boys' night
Yeah.
or a big party.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Most of the times I've hung out was essentially with just like my roommates or things that I was already planning on doing and people are going to the same thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So if there's anything outside of that, is like it's not so much of like I don't care about them or I don't miss them or it has nothing to do with that. It's just a matter of like time and place type of thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, of course, it's like if you miss someone and if you want to make time for them, you should. But I would never take it personally if someone essentially didn't like approach me and ask for the time if I already know they're my friend. Does it make sense? I don't know. I think there's a lot of people out there that I do value their friendship. Do I hit them up all the time? Do I text them all the time? No. A lot of my friends that I have is like I'll have the conversation with them like whenever I can, and I'll just stop responding because if you text me, how was my day? My conversation ends right there with you. It's like
this dude probably has 60 open messages on his Instagram DMs, probably, or his text messages. Actually, bring that up. What do you have? What do you have right now?
My phone is running out of storage, so I deleted a good amount of messages, but I have 44 unopened messages on iMessage right now.
Okay, that's not bad.
Messenger, there's not that many right now. I don't use Messenger that much, but Instagram, yeah, this is my Instagram right now.
Guys, it's all blue. It's all messages. What the dude? Here's the thing. Also, he sends me reels, and I appreciate that he sends me reels.
I send reels, but I don't open anyone's reels.
Exactly. I reply to a message, nothing. Get no reply. Okay. So there's no conversation to be had
at the end of the day. Like you gotta realize is like, maybe it's just a me. It's actually not just a me habit because I've seen other people do it. But it's like I think there's a way of people expressing that they still care about you.
Oh yeah.
Because like they're sending you stuff, and even if it means they're not opening it, when they're sending you like TikToks or reels, that's showing that's like in some degree they're thinking about you. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
So that's where I'm finding myself in is like whenever I see something, I think of that person, I send it to them. It doesn't mean I'll open their stuff. I will open it eventually, maybe a month later, and I'll watch like the 10 other reels he sent me. But like it's literally nothing personal.
Yeah.
It's just
No, for sure. I have a hard time with what I was telling you with that. And I think I'm just trying to get myself to understand like, hey, like life is happening or what you're saying, like, oh, like I should be hitting you up. But for someone that maybe struggles with or kind of in this transition of adulthood with friends, like what's like, some words of advice you can give to them to help them understand like everything's all right.
Yeah, I mean, just be authentic. It's like if you want to hang out with people, you hang out with people. And if you're busy, you're busy. I think you're at a point where you've had enough friendships that at this point they should understand where you are at in life and they know what you're about. Because me personally, I know you're always spending time with family. You're spending if you're not spending time with family, you're spending time with Michelle, and so on. And it's like if you just so happen to be busy, it's like you're busy. You also have work and stuff like that. I think at the end of the day, is like you don't have to feel so guilty about saying no to spending time with a friend. Because if they're truly your friend, they'll understand it's like, my guy's just busy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if he has free time, he'll make free time. I've seen that. We all have seen that. And, sometimes we'll like host stuff and you're not there. We'll joke about it. It's like, Randy's always busy, but it's like, no one's crying about it. No one's pissed about it. It's just kind of what it is.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
No, for sure.
Don't want to put the blame on yourself for something that you can't satisfy other people because you're satisfying your own life. Because if they're actually your friends, they'll understand it.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I think those are great words to say.
I think I'll still like harass you a little bit.
Oh yeah, I know you will. That's also your nature and yourself. You wouldn't let me. Like, oh yeah, because he always says in our group chats, like, oh, like if we're doing boys' night, you need to schedule Randy and Jerry. You need to tell them on month in advance.
I know everyone else is free, but you too.
Going back to, I know now you're working on giving that balance of, kind of relieving some of those attachment issues
Mhm.
with your friends. You're doing things a lot more alone. I loved your content creator a day in a life. I think that inspired me to think about how I can do that in the future. Guys, check that out on his Instagram page.
It's private now, but yeah.
Is it private now? Oh yeah, it is.
I made my Insta public for like a week, and
Oh,
then
okay.
I privatized it. That's fine.
But I want to know how you get over the fear of doing things alone, because I feel like a lot of people have
Ooh.
that. Because like you said, you're like, I don't mind, going shopping by myself. I don't mind having dinner by myself. But
Yeah.
for a lot of people, like they're like, can you please come with me?
Yeah. How to get over the fear? I'll start off with, I don't think I have a real advice, but for me, it's more so like, if someone sees me eating out by myself, I just tell myself, if they think something, so what? Because I don't know them.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? If I see someone that I know and they say something, it's like, okay. But like, I know my actual friends, like, if they saw me eating out by myself, they'll be like, oh, you're eating by yourself? I'm like, yeah, and what?
Yeah.
Type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if I ever bumped into you and I was eating out by myself in Quincy, it's like, I do this.
Yeah.
It's like whatever.
Yeah.
I think really it's just like, it's not even about building the courage. It's about understanding like your surroundings. You don't need to hear or care about what everyone says, because especially if you don't know them, it doesn't matter.
Mm.
And if you know them, it's like an acquaintance or something like that, it's like, what are they gonna do? Like text someone, be like, oh my God, I just saw Igor eating by himself. That's so weird. And like,
Is it really?
it's like, if I saw someone that I see once a year and they say that to someone else, maybe they're the problem. You know what I mean? It's like, well, why do you care? Type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've gone to a couple. Okay, I don't go to raves so much by myself, but I've been to like maybe like 3 by myself, and I would say like that's not my favorite environment to go by myself. I still think it's, if you know me now, like I'm not as extroverted that I used to be. I feel like if I was going to a club or a venue by myself and meeting new people, that'd be okay by going by myself. But like usually now I don't have the balls to go up to new people and make friends. That's just not in my nature anymore. So that one is a little bit weird. But like, shopping by myself, grocery shopping by myself, that's fine. Going out to eat by myself, that's fine. I love eating hot pot by myself. I love eating hot pot. Spring shabu, your own plate, get whatever, eat, put on headphones, watch something. Perfect date.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people think that other people are thinking of them longer than like 5 to 10 seconds.
Yeah, like, I don't know. If I ever saw someone eating by themselves, the only thing that comes across my mind is like, okay, they're eating by themselves. That's it. That might not be other people's mentality. Some people might be more judgy, but again, it's like, do you know that person? Probably not. If you know that person and they're judging you, it's like, why do they care so much?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really just like a way to block external factors from really affecting you. And I think that's something I carry with me all the time. It's just block external factors, because most of the times they don't really matter.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. I recently learned from a recent episode, the latest episode of the podcast, Ryan, who talked about how like if someone's gonna think about you in that time that doesn't even know you, like think about you like for maybe 5 to 10 seconds, and later down the road they're like, you're not even gonna come up again. And it's just like, if you hold that much weight in their head for someone that doesn't even know you, then I think, like I said, either they're the problem, or like they're focusing so much on other people's stuff, like they're not even focusing on their own.
Right. If you're judging someone for eating by themselves, you're the problem.
Yeah, you are the problem.
Sometimes somebody who just wants to treat them out to a nice dinner. That's it. I do that sometimes.
There's literally so many, like, again, literally, there's no other reason. There's really no other reason to.
And it's like, you could do Uber Eats, but like sometimes like stepping out of your apartment, going for a 10-minute walk and grab food instead of a restaurant, and just enjoy the ambience. It's nice.
Yeah. Except this guy doesn't. He never sat or went to go McDonald's by himself when we lived literally a block away.
I had a DoorDash problem. I was just talking about this today with my roommate. I was like, yeah, when I used to live in Austin, I lived a block away from McDonald's and I still DoorDashed every time.
I
Don't
wanna-
ask me why I did it. I just did it.
I just want to know what that is like. Are you serious right now? Well, I mean, obviously they still got some.
I feel like I wasn't spending that much money on it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know because like the tax and the tips were like removed because you have a DoorDash account, so you only pay for the tip.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes they had like a 10-15% off your order, so it's like I was still paying like a $2-3 more. But at the end of the day,
You were paid out.
it felt it's like $2 for you to bring it to me. I don't mind it, but it was so dumb, guys. Like all I had to do was go down the elevator, cross the street. I kid you not. I kid you not. I lived across the street from it. It was so stupid.
Good times, man.
Yeah.
I'm
not doing that anymore.
I know it's a good thing you're not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
I missed our roommate experience. It had a lot of good moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I take a lot of more walks now. Take
Good.
walks, kids. It
Yes.
works. It helps.
Please. All right, man. The other next question I have for you is probably the golden question.
Mhm.
It's something I've like texted you like a friend letter, basically. Yo, like appreciate
Yeah.
you and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And the number one thing I always bring up is how do you not give a f-? So that's the question is how do you not give a f-? Because you are confident in what you do, you exuberate your type of personality, you don't care what other people say. You're
Yeah.
just Igor being Igor. So how do you not give a f-?
I've always had problems with people ever since middle school.
Oh shit. Okay. Okay, so this goes back to a problem issue.
So a lot of the times when I had problems with people in middle school and high school, I could never tell you why. People just kind of hated on me for whatever reason. But it's funny though because ever since I never really cared. But no, yeah, in middle school, like I had a problem with some people because like I was the new kid from Brazil that barely spoke English. So then people kind of were just like, you can cut this out if you want to, but not. But like people would be like, yo, there's a new fob in school. And I'm like, I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah.
So, well, remember, I didn't speak English.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
a lot of the times people are insulting me. I don't know what it means.
You're like, thank you.
So one, it was like being called a fob, and I'm like, okay, and then two, it was just like as I got comfortable with more people were like, he's such a. I'm like, okay, I am gay. Thanks for reminding me. Actually, back in middle school, I wasn't like out yet, but like
You
I
were
never
discovering.
I never said no, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
And then going to high school, no, there was a good amount of people that essentially just didn't vibe with me, didn't like me, and I don't think I could ever tell you as to why. I think it has to do with just me being very loud on everyone's face. Like even in college, it's like people are like, "Oh, you know Igor? Everyone knows Igor," and it's like people know Igor for very different reasons. Each one person knows Igor for different reasons. Is like, oh, he's a dancer. Oh, actually, what do people know me for? Or Igor's a dancer, or the blacked out kid at the parties, or just the really gay dude that's like everywhere. No, yeah, everyone knew me for different reasons. Everyone disliked me for different reasons, and I don't think I could explain how I just didn't give a f- because actually, I think at the end of the day, the reason why I never gave a f- was because the people that didn't like me or had a problem with me were people that I didn't care about. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
If I cared about them and they had a problem with me, I would probably try to solve it.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm not trying to solve it, it's because either I think their point of view is unrealistic or it doesn't concern me.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, everyone will dislike you. Not everyone. At the end of the day, somebody will dislike you. Whether you like it or not, somebody will. And their reasonings, it might make sense. It might not make sense. It's up to you to sort of figure that out. But a lot of the times, the people that didn't like me, it was literally just images they had of me. And I knew those images weren't right. It's funny because there's this one person from high school. If she ever watches this video, it's so funny. She was at Breakaway. Charlie, if you're ever watching this, But
Dude, all
Charlie,
these name drops are crazy.
I know, I love it, I know. But Charlie did not like me in high school at all for whatever reason. I might know the reason, but I don't remember why because it didn't worry me at the time. She didn't like me, and when we went to college, keep it in mind, this girl, I never really talked to her in high school, but she didn't with me. We go to college. She lives next door to me. She lived with Sule.
Bro, how
She
does
lived
that
with Sule.
happen?
Yeah. So I feel like to her, it was a nightmare. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
this guy, not only did I go to high school with him, he lives next door to me.
Yeah, yeah.
And she didn't really fuck with me. And then I think like college, I stopped seeing her after freshman year because I didn't have a reason to like really see her.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we graduated, we bump into each other all the time. And the running joke that I have with her now is like, oh, my number one hater, what's up? Or anything like that. But she's a nice person. We see each other not here and there.
Yeah.
And we get along just fine. But it's just a running joke whenever I see her. I'm like, oh, what's up, my number one hater? Because she told me, she's like, I didn't like you in high school. It's like, that's very valid because a lot of people didn't.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, I don't even ask for an explanation. I'm just like, you didn't like me? Okay, that's cool. And yeah, I think it mostly comes down to if they have a reason and I don't see the reasons being as realistic, that's fine. Again, that comes down to me being a very objective person.
Right.
It's like, if they didn't like me because I was loud, obnoxious, it's like, I'm being loud and obnoxious to my friends who I have a good time with and they like that. If you don't like that, that's fine because maybe you just don't like loud and obnoxious people.
Yeah.
If I ever bother you or if I ever like harassed you, which I probably didn't. If I did, I'm sorry. But like, if I ever like did something like that and like bother you, is like, okay, I would understand something like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But most of the times, it's like people just didn't like my personality, and it's like if they don't like my personality, that it is what it is. I already have people that appreciate my personality. I don't think I should be worrying about what some people think when I already have like 10 to 20 other people that appreciate me for who I am.
Yeah, I think a lot of people who are people pleasers, like myself, like to know that everyone, like it's very absolute, like everyone has to like me. If you don't like me, then I get like insecure. I'm like, why don't you like me? You know what I mean?
And I think at that point is, I don't think I can really teach you on that, but like you kind of just have to get over it somehow. And it's like, you got to understand that at the end of the day, not everyone is going to like you. Not everyone's going to appreciate you. I feel like at the end of the day, a lot of people do appreciate you and they do like you. But if there's one or two people that just don't vibe with you, it is what it is, because there's a whole other circle of people that already do. They already like you. So like how you get over that, I can't give you an answer for it. But when you're able to essentially distinguish, is like, I don't have to please everyone. I just have to please myself. And the people that come around it that are pleased with myself, that's the people that I appreciate and cherish. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense. Instead of focusing on those like the little, not minimal people, but like those like minor number of people that don't like you, and start looking at the people that are much appreciative.
Right. Because it's like, if there's a stranger, not a stranger, but like, let's suppose like somebody that works at my company, and I hear stuff is like, oh, like they feel some type of way about you. I'm like, okay. And there's this one girl at my office. I won't say the name.
The one time
I won't say the name. She thought I was weird because I was like knocking on the window and like trying to say hi to my other coworker. And she's like, there's like this weirdo knocking on the window. I don't know. She's like said something else that was like almost like trying to pick a fight. And then like, and I wasn't on this group chat at work, but like everyone else was. They're like, so Igor?
Yeah.
And then it almost sounded stupid because one of my coworkers was like telling me, they're just like, she just likes to pick fights with people. And she's like, okay, well, not my problem. Like, I'm not trying to please that kind of person. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, at the end of the day, we just pick our battles when it comes to like who we try to like please as people or not.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I think I think what you told me, like, I think I want to kind of apply in my life, because I think that's what it is. Like, why I get so like, oh, like, well, how could you not like me? I think I just focus on that. I do this a lot, not only with people, but also with negative thoughts too. Like I
Mhm.
focus on that one bad thing and then have
Mhm.
that generalize into like my generalize into my whole being. I mean, that's
Mhm.
why I went into depression and suicidal thoughts when
Mhm.
we were in college, because like I was focusing on that one bad thing that I think
Mhm.
everyone was referring to,
Yeah.
and then making that my whole perspective that people are seeing me, instead of looking at
Right.
others where they're like, no, like I appreciate you, like understand you made a mistake, but that doesn't change
Right.
how I feel about you. You
Yeah.
know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
But like that's the thing I was scared of. I was like, I felt like it changed a lot of people's perspective of me.
Yeah. Even if it changes a couple of people's perspective, you gotta understand. It's like sometimes it's fine because like people's perspective change all the time.
Right.
It's like I might have beef with someone one like today, but like a year from now is like I get over it or things change and stuff like that. It's like it's important to hold yourself accountable for something, but understand if you're actually holding yourself accountable for something, people will see the change whether they like it or not. And as long as you're able to see the change within yourself, is if they can't see it, there's no problem. They'll hold it against you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
As long as you're able to express that within yourself, you shouldn't care about what other people say. And if they still have a problem, at the end of the day, that's not your problem anymore. And if you want to resolve that vision, confront it face to face. If nothing works, it's like at least you know you tried your best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, man. So, I just want to say thank you for, sharing your story, being vulnerable, and obviously coming on the pod. I think at first, I mean, I didn't have to convince you, but you were like, I don't know. We'll see. But that's because 3 months ago, I think I asked you 3 months ago, and you're like, I need to figure out this shit first.
Yeah. Don't bother me when I'm stressed out.
But I mean, I always appreciate our friendship, and I think I've told you multiple times about how, obviously you opened me up to the rave scene, and now like, that music is part of my genre, pretty much what I only listen to at the gym now, maybe most of the time.
Should listen to techno.
He's changed now.
Yeah.
He's changed.
Hey, banging music now.
But yeah, man, I appreciate our friendship, and appreciate his long, a roomie, and yeah, man, just appreciate you always. So thank you for coming on.
Thank you guys. Yay. My name is Igor. Follow me on Insta, Iggy Silva. Or not.
I think is it Iggy? Isn't there an X at the end? No.
Yeah, it's Iggy Silva, but instead of A is an X.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
All right, man. I just want to get a question. Oh, go ahead.
You can add this to the podcast, but you don't have to.
Okay.
So I went to Brazil like February of last year. Right?
Yeah.
I went to visit my mom. And then we were on our way to the beach. And then she was like, Igor, I have a really tough question to ask you. And I'm like, oh, I know where this is going.
Okay.
I was like, just ask. And she's like, are you gay? And I was like, yes, mom. And then she like started to get like kind of emotional. Like, and she was like, I knew, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, Mom, it's fine. I don't think it's that deep. And then one of the things she said, it was like, I knew you were gay because your Instagram handle, instead of using the A, use an X. Because you know how like for pronouns there's like they, them.
Yeah.
And it's like sometimes like people use an X. So instead of saying Latino and Latina, you use a Latinx.
Yeah.
Whatever. She thought that was why I used an X on my Instagram. And I was like, Mom, no, it's just because an A wasn't available. And she was like, really? I thought that was you saying that you're gay. And I was like, Mom. Please. Fun fact.
I mean, your mom was always cool. You and your mom had a really tight relationship. So
I mean, yeah, she asked me numerous. She didn't ask me numerous times, but she was always like, Igor, I love you no matter who you are. And I'm like, because she lived in Brazil, I'm in the US, I'm like reading the message. I'm like, oh, she thinks I'm gay. I'm like, that's fine. I am.
Like, you already knew, dude.
But I told her in person, I was like, I think it's stupid to come out to you through text message.
Yeah.
So if I ever saw you in person, first off, I think it's stupid to come out in general. Actually, no, I take that back. It's not that it's stupid to come out, but it's like, if you're already comfortable with your sexuality, what's the reason to come out? You know what I mean? It's almost like why do I have to make it known to everyone that I'm gay? So it's more like people know. If they don't know, they'll find out. But I don't think it's very necessary to like make a whole like spiel about, hey guys, I'm gay.
Yeah.
So that was the thing with my mom. I was like, yeah, I'm not trying to like splurge it out there. People know.
Yeah.
People know me from the day they freaking meet me.
Yeah.
But then with her, I was like, yeah, that's it.
Cool. But then it's no surprise about how you would react in that conversation or emotionally.
Yeah.
Bro. She's
mom,
like crying and you're like
no, yeah,
there.
My
Well,
mom,
you were the one
my mom is like trying to be like emotional about it. I was like, dude, it's fine. I saw this conversation. The thing is, like, I know my mom would understand it, so like I wasn't even worried about telling her. It was more like telling her in person. So it's just more like she asked me, and I was like, okay, this is my time to tell you. Okay, here it is.
Yeah.
And she's not gonna beat me. She's not gonna hate me. I already know that. My grandma would be a different story if my grandma sees that. But honestly, if my grandma knows, it's fine. I don't care.
Yeah. At this point, it's just. It's oh man, but that's cute. No, I appreciate you bringing that up.
Yeah.
Let's get into questions from the audience. This other person asks, "What's the longest you ever slept?" Is it actually the 32 hours that you said on the Q&A post?
I think so. So, usually what happens is if I go to a festival and I come back home, it's not even that I'm like tired, but it's just like I just want to rest and I don't want to do anything. I remember. So what I remember this one time was getting on the airplane. I slept through the airplane, and then I got an Uber home. Once I got the Uber home, it was like almost like 8 p.m. I just slept. I woke up around like 12 or 1. I ate food. I essentially took a nap, and I woke up at 7, and then I ate a little bit more, and then I slept again. Essentially, I only woke up to eat.
Yeah.
And then I slept again, and then the next day I woke up. I was like, "Okay, let's go for the day."
Yeah.
And
were you thinking
probably like a
oh,
day and a half of like sleep? Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Was that when you were living with me, or this is?
No, this was actually. Oh, I think I was at Windsor, like the last Waltham place.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, because I just remember being bedridden all day, and I was like, I did not want to do anything. I just slept in all day. Could have happened at Crescent Street, but I don't recall it specifically.
Yeah.
But I remember like the other Waltham place being so vivid where I was like, wow, I actually like slept so much. I love sleeping. Even this past weekend, I got home at 3 a.m. on Friday.
Yeah.
I slept until 3 p.m. on Saturday.
Damn.
And then I woke up, I went about my day, and then I slept at 9 p.m. And then I woke up at like 9 today. I woke up at 9 a.m. today. And then I took a nap at 12 p.m. until like 2.
Damn.
Yeah.
Sleep's important, guys. Sleep's important.
Not that important. Go be productive.
The other question that someone had was your IG line, which is "sleep when you're dead." Where does that come from?
To be honest, I might be making this up,
Yeah.
but I think I just saw it on someone else's like Instagram bio.
You're like, I'm gonna take this.
And I was like, I kind of put that. Yeah, I like sleep when you're dead because it's like, okay, I know we're just talking about sleeping a lot. But at the same time, I do believe that you should enjoy life as much as you can. And it's like, if you're running tired, but you have an opportunity to spend quality time with your friends and family, you should do that because you'll sleep when you're dead. So, of course, like there's like limits, like you want to rest up and stuff like that. But I feel like don't ever miss an opportunity to like have like a good time with him. I'm not just saying like drinking stuff like that. I'm talking about like traveling stuff like that. With your friends and family. Because you can always like rest up later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always known you to be like, just do everything now and later you can figure out, settle and all that stuff.
Yeah.
All right, man. I want to get into the next segment of this. And basically, I asked someone to write you a letter. I'm not gonna name that person because they asked me for you to be anonymous until you get to the end of the letter. But the reason why I do this is because I want people to understand, how impactful that they are and that they, because we don't say it enough. Like I feel like, and even with texting, like everyone has a thought about like, well, I'm thinking about this person, but they don't say anything, right? Because I mean, I get it. You don't want to start a conversation. You might be busy, all that stuff. But even saying, "Hey, I'm thinking of you. Hope you're doing well," you could just leave it at that, right? But I think also autopilot, like when we're on autopilot, we just don't tell people how much we impact them. So I'm gonna give you the letter. Try not to read the name if you can, please. And then read it from out loud.
Anonymous.
It was anonymous, but they put their name on at the bottom, and I just forgot to delete that out. You know what? I'll just rip that out.
You know, good thing they typed it because I can usually distinguish
handwriting.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Whenever you're ready, just read it out loud.
To Igor, finally, I've been waiting for this episode. Ever since Randy started the highest version show, I've been waiting for your face to pop up on the thumbnail. You and Randy have such a great dynamic, and I'm excited to listen into the conversations you share with each other. Although we've only known each other for 3 years, that's a hint. I consider you one of my closest friends. Many people know you as Igor, the fun, goofy, carefree, energetic person that will always be the center of the group. But I'm glad to have had the privilege of getting to know you, a different side of you. One that is willing to take a step back and be serious, thoughtful, and compassionate. You know how to push my boundaries and at the same time pull me back and keep it real with me to keep me in check. Not many words need to be said between us, but we are always on the same page. I know that you want what's best for me and everyone else around you, and it shows in the way that people speak of you. I hope the people listening to the podcast get to see the side of you too, the one that always goes beyond the chaotic entertainer. I hope so too. But enough of the sappiness. Let's get to the good part. Who knew that we'll become friends with the biggest eyes one, Chewan, Temakre Stan? I know you're a house techno guy now, but I know deep down, I know you still vibe with slander. I don't? You know how to rally a squad and turn casual nights into ones that people will never forget. You're the life of the party who keep bringing your good vibes everywhere you are and never stop being you. I love to K-pop and EDM brought us together, but our friendship has given me a brother for the rest of my life. Thank you, and I look forward to many more memories for us.
So we can hold on to that. So who do you think it is?
Dennis.
Bro.
You know, for the longest minute, I thought it was true. And then you hit me with the slender. Yeah. I knew it.
that was the giveaway?
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Because everything else, I would have been like, true. And then so slender, I was like, oh, I'm ready to burn this letter. Thanks, Dennis.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I was figuring who to reach out to, and I was like, oh no, Dennis kind of makes sense to me because I feel like your guys' like connection vibe is always like, you know, good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to get your thoughts and, you know, that letter and reflections.
No, I appreciate it. I think Dennis and I have built a good like friendship over the years. I would say one thing. I feel bad for him sometimes because I feel like when I'm really drunk, I like low-key harass the kid. And he has a really strong patience to the point that he's just like, he lets it be.
Yeah.
But then like the next day I'll wake up, I'm like, damn, I feel sorry that like I low-key like abused this kid.
Did you say sorry to him the next day?
No. I don't think I ever said sorry.
Just say sorry to the camera right now.
Sorry, Dennis. For all the times that I probably pissed you off when I was drunk. But we have a really good time together. He's chill. I was just with him, like a week or two in New York. Yeah. We went to Seraphim's concert. But yeah, I think like me and Dennis, like we genuinely have a good friendship. I do appreciate him a lot. I think a lot of us like when it comes to like Dennis and Chris, especially the guys in New York, even though we don't see each other often, I think what we were able to build from not seeing each other all the time is generally something kind of like admirable in a sense. Is like I think like when you look back at it, is like me and you, right? Like we build a friendship because we spend so much time together and stuff like that. Other friends that I have is like spending so much time together. It's like even though I don't spend that much time with them, I've been able to just sort of just like build a friendship and like a connection. It's like there are people I can go to all the time. I love gossiping with Dennis. He knows that. Whenever I think like I don't know, I did something like this week that I was like, my comment was so funny, haha. Like it was like almost like a indirect comment, but like it was kind of sarcastic, but not sarcastic in a way that was like rude, but it's
Yeah.
just almost like a if you know, you know type of thing.
Yeah.
I text him that stuff. But then also it's like, yeah, he's right. The K-pop, the EDM, not so much the EDM anymore. Actually, no, I take that back. Me and Dennis, besides Slander, I think we have a good similar taste of EDM that no one else really does. Chris is starting to get into it, but everyone else is not.
Okay.
Yeah. We love techno house. Hate headbanging. But I appreciate the letter, Dennis. Thank you.
All right, Igor, let's get into the final 3 questions I will ask you this episode. These are the big 3 questions, the ones that will have the lasting effect on our viewers. So my first question to you is, if you could sit down with a young Igor, what would that interaction be like? What would you say to him? What actions would you guys do together?
Well, first one that I always think of is like my biggest regret in life. I should have stayed home at least 1 year after college.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I think for a lot of financial reasons, I was not ready to move out when I did with you, which is fine. Like, I don't regret it in that sense, but I think like financially, if I had moved out a year later, I would have never found myself in a position that was like the subsequent years. You know what I mean?
Right.
I never really had time to like save money and like be prepared. But it was like the moment it's like I saw money in my bank account, I was like, all right, Randy, you want to move out? Let's go.
Yeah. And I was only one of the other few people in our friend group that was willing and able to move out.
Yeah. So it was like at the time, it was like, I don't know what it was, but my image was like, if I don't move out right now with Randy, I will never be able to move out because who else is going to move out? Because everyone else is at home.
Yeah.
Little did I know that a couple of years later, I would have had 400 other friends moving out. I should have known better. So that was one regret. Second thing that I would tell my younger self. I mean, I would have told my younger self this thing, but also my present self. Talk to your mother more. I think that's one of the biggest things. Like, every now and then, like I will talk to my mom and stuff like that. I don't talk to her as often. But every now and then I will call her, but like I wish I talked to her a little bit more often. And it has nothing to do with like me not wanting to, but it's more like 2 weeks will pass by and I'm like, oh,
yeah,
I should see how my mom is doing, stuff like that. I know right now it's like fine, but you know, people get older. We'll see. I mean, my mom's still young. She's like 40 something.
Yep. Man.
But at the end of the day, you never know what's gonna happen tomorrow. You know what I mean? This one's gonna be like more on the stupid side, but like
it's fine.
Don't date someone all your 4 years of high school or all your 4 years of college. That comes with exceptions though. But like for me, I dated the same, and I'm saying like, you can date all 4 years, but don't date the same person unless you know they're the one. If you don't know they're the one, don't do it. Because I dated someone on my 4 years of high school. I feel like that shit went to waste. And I lost a lot of friendships because of that. And then in college, I didn't date anyone for all the 4 years. Thank God I didn't. But like, if you're not confident that's the one, don't waste your time on it because I did. And that took me a couple of step backs. But otherwise, do you? Yeah.
Okay. Second question to you is, what does becoming the highest version of yourself mean to you, and how are you doing that today?
Why are you laughing?
Okay, guys, this is the reason why I'm laughing.
We make a lot of inner jokes about the name of highest version.
Yeah. So when I'm having a good time with the boys, and obviously there's alcohol involved, they're like, we want lowest version to come out.
Because he gets up.
I think the other thing is highest version, something that I think about. Some people interpret it in the marijuana sense. That's also another one. So that's the reason why I was laughing. But take that aside. Take those two aside. You know what the real question is.
Nah, for me, like, to be the highest version of myself, in a summary, is like what this podcast has been about is essentially any like worries that you have within your life is essentially face them straightforward And but don't let external factors affect you, if that makes sense. If you have problems in your life and it's affecting you, go at it face to face. But if there's external factors that essentially don't really matter to you or don't have an impact in your life, don't let that get to you. So I think for me to be the highest version of myself is essentially to just take every day for what it is and don't let it consume me to the point that it's bringing me down, but to let it consume me in a way that I can take that in and improve either what's going on or move forward with my life. Um, I don't know how to put it in better words, but essentially just have ownership, just have control of your day to day. Whether that's like what's going on or like your mood, and like things will come up, but remember that's just one day and then you have the next day. And if it's something that takes up multiple days, come up with a solution. Don't let it bite you down. Don't let it hold you back. I think we're at a point where we're adults enough to be able to come up with a solution. If we don't have a solution, we know we have multiple people around us that can help us. I think it's just really understanding your surroundings, your external factors, and making that work within yourself.
Mm-hmm. Beautifully said. My last question to you is, if you could connect me with someone to come on this podcast, who would it be and why?
I'm going to say Truk. Truk? Can I do this real quick?
Go ahead. I don't know what he's doing. Are you FaceTiming him right now? Oh.
Ask your question.
If you could connect me with someone to come on this podcast, who would it be and why?
Truk. Why? I don't know, just Truk. Truk, I feel like when it comes to her, I deeply value her as a friend and I like her a lot. But she gives me the sense of like mysteriousness. You know what I mean? It's like there's always like a little spice to someone that like sometimes you don't know, you've never tasted.
Yeah.
That's kind of Truk. I think I've been able to taste it a little bit. But I don't know, maybe this podcast could be a way for her to like open up more. And I know a lot of sometimes people, they don't really open up or they just hold it back, whether that's for personal reasons or they're just personality. If she does come, I feel like it'll be a nice way to like get to know her a little bit more.
Yeah.
If not True, you can get Kevin. I don't know what you would do with Kevin, but we'll figure it out. He heard me. He's like, "Oh, I'm going to podcast." He's like, "Oh, for what?" And I'm like, explain to him. He's like, "I want to go." I'm like, "Okay, we'll see."
All right, sounds good. Do you want to drop your IG again? Sorry, I know you said it earlier.
Yeah, Instagram is Iggy IGGYSILVX. You can follow me. If not, that's fine. Yeah. You can follow my TikTok. It's the same thing, but I may post more content or not. We'll see.
Yeah.
Some people have been asking for it generally.
Honestly, and I was like, you should. You've done really well with it.
It takes a lot of effort.
Yeah, no shit, man. No shit.
Every time I'm doing something, I'm like working the angles, and I'm like, why did it take me an hour and a half to cook food right now?
Fun fact though, he had a TikTok that blew up. Was it millions of views? And then you got banned.
I don't know about views, but I know it had like 140,000 likes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and that was like overnight.
And he got banned?
And then I got banned the next day. Yeah, there was very inappropriate content of me and Timmy on it. Yeah.
Yep. Well, that's that. So that's the kind of content you guys will get if you follow Igor. Yep. All right, guys. If you liked any part of this episode, please make sure you clip it, tag me and Igor in it. Hit that notification bell so that you know when the next episode comes out. And as always, let's fall in love with the process of getting better every day, becoming the highest version of ourselves. Love you guys.
Or the lowest if you're drinking.